Hello, my friend. Welcome to my Fall Asleep channel. Tonight, I will tell you the story of a black hole in space, a calm narrative with interesting facts. If you enjoy peaceful stories like this, you are warmly invited to subscribe and return whenever you need to slow down. Now allow yourself to get comfortable. Let the day fade away and enjoy a quiet and pleasant rest. Let's begin. The darkness around you has already settled. Not suddenly, not completely, but in a way that feels familiar. The kind of darkness that no longer asks to be interpreted. The room has softened its edges, and your body has recognized that this is a place where nothing needs to be done. Notice the weight of your shoulders as they release downward, guided by gravity that has been quietly working your entire life. Breath arrives without instruction, leaves without resistance, a slow, steady exchange that does not require attention to continue. Bring awareness briefly to your jaw, a place where alertness often hides. Allow it to loosen, teeth parting slightly, the tongue resting fully, no longer holding shape or tension. Hands follow next, fingers uncurling, palms warming. Joints releasing the memory of movement, the body responding to stillness the way it was designed to. Outside this room, beyond walls and structures, the planet continues its rotation, the Earth turning through space at over 1,000 miles per hour, yet never once making you feel the motion. Night exists not because something arrived, but because the planet turned away from light. Above the atmosphere, the sky opens into something far older and far quieter. Stars appear as steady points, though each one is a massive sphere of plasma, balancing outward pressure from nuclear fusion against the inward pull of gravity. Some of that light has traveled only a few years, some for thousands, some for millions. Distance stretches perception gently without strain. Farther still, beyond familiar constellations, the structure of the universe becomes less crowded. Galaxies thin out, space dominates, and within this vastness, certain objects exist that do not shine at all, not because they are empty, but because their gravity is so strong that even light cannot leave. These are black holes, not holes in space, but regions where matter has collapsed inward beyond a critical limit, predicted first through mathematics, long before they were ever observed. Albert Einstein's equations of general relativity allowed for their existence, though he himself doubted they could form in nature. And yet the universe turned out to be capable of exactly that. Black holes form when massive stars exhaust their nuclear fuel, when outward pressure fades and gravity takes over completely. The core collapses, density increases, space-time curves more and more sharply until a boundary forms, known as the event horizon, a point beyond which information cannot return. Outside this boundary, physics behaves predictably. Inside it, our current understanding reaches its limit. What is inside a black hole? The answer is quiet and honest. We do not know. Equations suggest a singularity, a region where density becomes infinite and known laws break down. But this is not a place, not an object. It is a sign that our models are incomplete, and that uncertainty is not dangerous here. It is simply unfilled space in human knowledge. Black holes are not cosmic vacuum cleaners. They do not roam the universe, consuming everything nearby. From a distance, their gravity behaves like that of any other object with the same mass. Planets could orbit one safely if the black hole replaced a star without changing mass. Danger exists only very close, only within the event horizon itself. Time behaves differently near these objects, as predicted by relativity. Clocks closer to a black hole run slower compared to those far away. A minute near the horizon could correspond to years passing elsewhere, not because time stops, but because space-time itself is curved by mass. This effect has been measured around Earth in much smaller ways, using satellites. The principle is familiar, only the scale changes. Black holes are not hypothetical anymore. We have found many, through the motion of stars orbiting invisible masses, through X-ray emissions from heated accretion disks, through gravitational waves produced when black holes merge, ripples in space-time detected by instruments sensitive enough to measure changes smaller than an atom. The first direct image of a black hole's shadow was released in 2019, a dark region surrounded by glowing matter, confirming decades of theory with quiet certainty. Most black holes are far away. The nearest known stellar mass black hole lies over 1,000 light-years from Earth. There is no threat, no approaching danger. Earth is not inside a black hole, nor orbiting one unknowingly. The universe leaves clear signatures when such objects are nearby, and we see none here. Black holes come in different sizes. Stellar mass black holes formed from collapsing stars, supermassive black holes residing at the centers of galaxies, including our own. Sagittarius A star, with a mass millions of times that of the Sun, and possibly intermediate types still being studied. Some supermassive black holes have grown to billions of solar masses over cosmic time through mergers and slow accretion. Yet even these giants are calm on human timescales. They grow slowly, interact gently. The universe is mostly invisible, about 95% composed of dark matter and dark energy, substances that do not emit light, yet shape cosmic structure. Black holes exist within this unseen majority, but they are not the cause of it. They are part of a larger pattern where gravity dominates, and light is only a small messenger. Awareness of all this does not need to sharpen the mind. It can soften it instead. Scale has a way of quieting urgency. The body remains supported. Breath remains slow. The universe continues its processes without needing observation. And somewhere between understanding and rest, attention begins to drift, held not by answers, but by the steadiness of what continues regardless. The sense of distance widens now, not because you are moving faster, but because the mind has stopped trying to measure it. Black holes remain present in the background of awareness, no longer as mysteries to solve, but as stable features of the universe's architecture. They are quiet objects, defined more by what they prevent from escaping than by what they actively do. Light bends near them, paths curve, time stretches gently, following the shape of space-time itself. If an observer were to fall toward a black hole, the experience would depend entirely on perspective. From far away, time appears to slow at the edge, the falling object never quite crossing the horizon. From within, time continues normally, at least at first. Physics allows both descriptions without conflict. This is not contradiction, but relativity. And it reminds the mind that there is more than one valid way to experience the same reality. The idea of falling need not be followed further. The universe does not invite you toward edges tonight. Instead, it allows you to remain at a comfortable distance where understanding is possible without strain. Black holes were once only mathematical solutions, hidden in equations that few believed could describe something real. Einstein himself thought nature would avoid such extremes. Yet observations slowly accumulated, stars moving too fast around unseen centers, X-rays flaring where matter heated before vanishing, gravitational waves passing through Earth, stretching and compressing space itself for a fraction of a second, signals from events billions of years old, arriving quietly, carrying confirmation without drama. Certainty in science is never absolute, but black holes now rest among the most well-supported objects we know. Their effects measured repeatedly, consistently, across independent methods. They are not errors or illusions. They are consequences of gravity taken to its natural limit. Still, most of the universe remains unseen. Dark matter shaping galaxies without emitting light. Dark energy driving expansion without revealing its source. Invisibility does not mean absence here. It means interaction without illumination. The cosmos is largely composed of things that do not announce themselves visually, and the mind begins to mirror that subtlety. Awareness no longer needs sharp images. It rests comfortably in concepts that do not demand visualization. Black holes form in several ways, some from the collapse of massive stars, others through long histories of mergers, growing gradually over billions of years at galactic centers. None appear suddenly on human timescales. None wander unpredictably. Their locations are stable, their influence local unless mass becomes extreme. They do not hunt. They do not pull from afar. Gravity weakens quickly with distance, even for the largest among them. Safety exists naturally through scale. The nearest known black holes are far enough away that their presence is only detectable through careful measurement, never sensation. The Earth's orbit remains unchanged. The sun's light remains steady. The night sky familiar. The body resting now responds to this reassurance. Muscles soften further. Breathing deepens, then slows. The nervous system recognizes that nothing is approaching. Nothing needs monitoring. Black holes can be seen only indirectly, through shadows against glowing disks, through motions of nearby stars, through energy released before matter crosses the horizon. We never see inside, and we do not need to. Not knowing becomes part of the structure of understanding, a boundary like the horizon itself, beyond which curiosity rests rather than pushes. The universe does not reveal everything at once. It unfolds in layers, at a pace slow enough to allow rest. Time near a black hole behaves differently, but far from them, time continues its familiar flow. Seconds follow seconds. Breaths follow breaths. The difference reminds us that time is not a single river, but a landscape shaped by mass and motion. And here, in this moment, time is gentle. It moves evenly, without distortion. Awareness drifts further from questions that require effort. Answers no longer need to be complete. The universe is not withholding anything personally. It is simply vast, and vastness does not hurry. The darkness you rest within now feels less like absence and more like space. Enough room for everything to exist without pressing against anything else. Stars continue burning. Black holes continue holding their quiet boundaries. Galaxies continue rotating, and you remain safely distant from all extremes, supported by gravity that is strong enough to hold, yet gentle enough to allow rest, drifting deeper into that balance, carried by processes that do not require your attention, as thought slows and quiet expands. As awareness settles further, black holes no longer feel like distant curiosities, but like calm punctuation marks in the long sentence of the universe, places where gravity speaks clearly without raising its voice. They do not interrupt the flow of space, they shape it, bending paths gently at great distances, more firmly up close. And this shaping follows rules that have been tested again and again. Rules that allow the universe to remain predictable enough to feel safe, even when it contains objects so dense that light itself must yield. The question of whether black holes truly exist has already been answered many times over, not with a single dramatic proof, but with layers of evidence accumulating patiently. Stars orbiting invisible centers at speeds that only extreme mass could explain. Disks of gas heating and glowing just before disappearing. Gravitational waves measured precisely, matching theoretical predictions down to the smallest detail. Science rarely deals in absolutes, yet confidence grows through consistency, and black holes have earned that confidence quietly. They are not errors in the universe, but confirmations of its depth. Even so, they do not dominate the cosmos. Most of space is empty. Most matter is dark. Most energy invisible. The universe is largely composed of things that do not interact with light at all. Dark matter providing the gravitational scaffolding that galaxies assemble around. Dark energy gently accelerating expansion, increasing the distance between everything. Together, these unseen components make up the majority of what exists, not hidden intentionally, simply interacting in ways our eyes were never meant to detect. The body understands this intuitively. Much of its own work happens unseen: nerves firing, hormones balancing, cells repairing, all without conscious awareness. Invisibility does not imply danger, it implies depth. Black holes are part of that depth, rare compared to stars, localized compared to galaxies, influential only where mass gathers densely. Even the largest supermassive black holes occupy a region small compared to the galaxies they anchor. Their event horizons tiny on cosmic scales, their reach limited. They do not threaten stability, they participate in it. Galaxies form around them, not despite them. The universe has found ways to include extremes without collapsing into chaos. Questions about pain, about falling, about harm arise naturally in human thought. Yet in the cosmic view, such questions lose urgency. Black holes do not reach out. They do not pull unsuspecting travelers from across space. Approaching one would require intention, precision, and proximity beyond anything that occurs accidentally. And even then, physics unfolds according to law, not malice. The universe does not punish, it simply responds. Your body, here and now, remains in a region where physics is gentle, gravity constant, time steady, forces balanced. The most complex interactions occurring are subtle and supportive, air moving in and out, blood circulating, warmth distributing evenly. Rest deepens, not because questions have been answered, but because they no longer need to be held. Curiosity relaxes into acceptance. Black holes remain fascinating, but distant, powerful, but contained, known, yet not fully. And that incompleteness is not a flaw. It is space left open for future understanding. The mind loosens its grip on precision. Thoughts become impressions. Impressions become sensations. Sensations fade into quiet presence. The universe continues forming black holes where conditions allow, continues expanding everywhere else, continues balancing gravity against motion in endless variation, none of it directed toward you, all of it occurring alongside you, and that coexistence is enough. Breath slows, pauses lengthen naturally. Awareness drifts without direction, resting within a cosmos that holds extremes gently, without urgency, without threat, always continuing, always allowing rest. The pace continues to slow, not because anything is ending, but because there is no longer a need to move through ideas. Black holes remain part of the landscape, but now they feel distant again, softened by scale and time. They exist across the universe in small numbers compared to stars, each one the quiet result of gravity following its course. No intention, no awareness, just physics completing a process that began long before planets formed. When massive stars reached the end of fusion, when pressure could no longer hold against collapse, the universe did not hesitate. It allowed matter to fall inward, to curve space-time deeply, to create boundaries that mark the limits of what can be observed. And then it moved on. Galaxies continued forming, stars continued igniting, life found room to appear elsewhere, untouched. The idea that Earth could be inside a black hole fades easily now. Such a structure would leave unmistakable signs: warped orbits, distorted backgrounds, time behaving in ways that could not be ignored. None of these are present. The planet remains in a gentle orbit around an ordinary star, in a quiet region of a spiral galaxy, far from extremes, far from collapse. Safety is written into location. Black holes are seen not as threats, but as markers of the universe's ability to contain even its most intense outcomes without losing balance. They are endpoints of stars, not endpoints of space. Beyond their horizons, mystery remains. But mystery does not spread outward. It stays contained. This containment is comforting when allowed to be. The mind no longer reaches inward, no longer tries to picture what cannot be pictured. Instead, attention drifts outward again, toward the larger context. Galaxies arranged along filaments, clusters moving slowly through expanding space. Light traveling across billions of years, arriving faint and stretched. Time everywhere behaving according to mass and motion. Near black holes, it slows. Far from them, it flows gently, evenly. Here, where you rest, time is kind. It moves just fast enough to carry breath, just slow enough to allow sleep. The universe has no preferred pace. It allows many at once. This flexibility settles into awareness. There is room for curiosity and for rest, room for knowledge and for letting go. Black holes do not demand fear because they do not demand attention. They simply exist, doing nothing unless approached. And tonight, there is no approach, only distance, only scale, only quiet continuation. The body responds by sinking deeper into stillness. Muscles release another layer of tone. The face smooths. Breathing becomes almost imperceptible. The mind no longer holds images of gravity or collapse or horizons. Those ideas dissolve naturally, like starlight fading with distance. What remains is a sense of being carried by laws that do not fluctuate. Gravity steady, expansion steady, cause and effect unfolding predictably. The universe reliable even in its mysteries. Sleep settles not as a transition, but as a continuation of this reliability. Awareness thinning, edges dissolving, thoughts no longer forming sentences, just a broad, calm presence. Black holes remain where they are. Stars continue burning where they are. Galaxies continue drifting where they are. And you rest exactly where you are, supported, unthreatened, held inside a universe that knows how to contain even its deepest unknowns, quietly, patiently, without ever needing to wake you. The continuity carries on without effort now. There is no sense of approaching a conclusion, only the steady extension of calm. Black holes, once framed by questions, have receded into context. They are no longer the focus, just one expression of gravity among many. Reminders that the universe allows extremes without letting them dominate. Even the largest black holes occupy only tiny regions compared to the vast galaxies around them. Their influence precise, contained, mathematically exact, never random, never impulsive. This precision is what allows everything else to remain gentle. Stars can form far away without disturbance. Planetary systems can settle into long, stable orbits. Life can unfold slowly, protected by distance and scale. The universe is structured in layers, each one buffering the next. Extremes nested inside calm, calm extending far beyond extremes. This layered balance feels familiar to the body. Bones supporting muscle, muscle supporting movement, movement giving way to rest, systems within systems, each doing its part without requiring awareness. The question of danger no longer arises. Black holes are not roaming forces. They are fixed outcomes, end states that remain where they formed, bound to the galaxies that hold them. Even when black holes merge, the process unfolds over immense timescales. Gravitational waves spreading outward, weakening as they travel until they become gentle ripples indistinguishable from background motion. By the time such signals reach places like Earth, they are measured only by instruments of extraordinary sensitivity, never felt, never noticed. The universe keeps its most dramatic events quiet at a distance. This distance is not accidental. It is the natural result of scale, and scale is the great protector. The mind, no longer needing to guard against imagined threats, releases its last patterns of vigilance. Thoughts slow further, appearing only as faint outlines before dissolving. Awareness becomes less directional, more spacious. There is no need to follow ideas to their ends. Nothing here requires resolution. Even unanswered questions feel complete. What is inside a black hole remains unknown, and that unknown rests calmly, bounded by horizons that do not leak confusion into the rest of space. Not knowing is contained, just as gravity is contained, just as night is contained within the turning of a planet. Time itself continues to behave, flowing differently in different places, near mass, slowing, far from mass, smoothing out, yet always remaining internally consistent. A minute near a black hole differs from a minute far away, but each minute is complete where it is. Perspective defines experience, and here, perspective is gentle. Time passes in a way that supports rest. Breaths deepen, then grow shallow again. Pauses between them lengthen. The body no longer tracks the rhythm consciously. It trusts the process entirely. The universe does the same. It does not monitor itself. It unfolds according to relationships set at its beginning. Relationships that have proven stable enough to last billions of years. Stars have burned steadily because those relationships hold. Galaxies have formed because those relationships allow structure. Black holes exist because those relationships permit collapse without chaos. Everything belongs to the same framework, and frameworks do not rush. Awareness drifts further from form. Images soften into impressions. Impressions fade into presence. There is no sharp boundary between wakefulness and sleep here. One simply gives way to the other, the way dusk gives way to night, gradually, without announcement. The darkness now feels wide and comfortable, not enclosing, but accommodating, space enough for everything to rest. Black holes remain distant facts in that space, important, but no longer engaging, like mountains seen from far away in the dark, known to exist, not requiring attention. The mind settles into this distance easily, releasing even curiosity, releasing even language, resting in a state where continuation is enough. Gravity continues, expansion continues, time continues, and you continue resting within all of it, safely, quietly, carried by a universe that has room for mystery without ever needing to disturb your sleep. The flow remains unbroken, awareness now so light that it barely distinguishes between itself and the quiet it rests within. Black holes exist only as distant knowledge, softened by repetition and scale. No longer questions, no longer images, just part of the background understanding that the universe is capable of depth without danger. Even the earliest black holes, formed in the young universe from dense regions shortly after the first stars, followed the same rules: gravity gathering matter, collapse occurring where mass allowed, structure forming naturally without intention. The universe did not design these objects. It permitted them, and permission is different from threat. Permission implies balance, allowance within limits, and limits exist everywhere. Event horizons mark where information stops, not where chaos begins. Beyond them, uncertainty is contained. Outside them, predictability remains intact. This containment allows the rest of the cosmos to remain calm. Galaxies evolve slowly. Star formation rises and falls gently over billions of years. Expansion continues evenly in all directions. Nothing accelerates toward catastrophe. Nothing spirals out of control. The idea of a universe filled with invisible components, dark matter and dark energy, feels less abstract now. Invisibility no longer signals danger. It signals subtlety, forces that shape without announcing themselves. The same way gravity holds you to the earth without sound. The same way time carries you forward without sensation. Most of reality does not need to be perceived to be reliable. The body understands this deeply. Its own stability depends on processes you never witness. Digestion, repair, balance, all continuing now without your attention. This parallel allows the last effort of thinking to dissolve. Awareness no longer scans for meaning. Meaning has softened into presence. Black holes are not endpoints of understanding. They are edges, places where knowledge pauses respectfully. Science does not fill these edges with fear. It marks them, measures around them, and waits. Patience again becomes the dominant theme. Patience on cosmic scales, patience in the nervous system, patience in sleep. Time here feels wide and generous, not sliced into units, not measured, just extended. Seconds no longer distinguish themselves from minutes. The mind no longer notes their passage. Breath continues, sometimes deep, sometimes barely noticeable, always sufficient. The universe mirrors this irregular steadiness, processes continuing without needing uniformity. Some stars burn quickly, others slowly. Some black holes grow through mergers, others remain unchanged for eons. No single pace is preferred, only consistency within each system. This allowance settles everything further. Thought becomes unnecessary. Images fade completely. Even impressions grow faint. Awareness thins until it feels almost transparent, like space itself, holding everything without resistance. The night remains, the cosmos remains, black holes remain, distant, contained, untroubled, and you remain, resting inside a structure vast enough to include both the known and the unknowable without strain. Sleep deepens naturally here, not as a descent, but as a spreading, quiet, expanding through awareness the way space expands between galaxies, gently, evenly, without end, as everything continues exactly as it should. The stillness has settled so completely now that it no longer feels like an experience. It feels like the natural state beneath all experiences. Black holes have faded almost entirely from attention, not because they are gone, but because they no longer need to be held in mind. They exist whether remembered or not. Massive, quiet regions of curved space-time, doing nothing beyond what gravity allows. No hunger, no intention, no awareness, just balance maintained at an extreme. And extremes, when placed in proper scale, become gentle again. The universe is very good at scaling. It allows the most intense forces to remain local, while the vast majority of space stays calm, open, and undisturbed. This design is not deliberate. It is emergent. Laws interacting consistently over time, producing stability without planning. The thought drifts by briefly, then dissolves. Planning is no longer relevant here. The body has fully accepted rest. Muscles lie heavy. Breathing has found its most economical rhythm. Pauses between breaths lengthen naturally, without concern. The heart continues its work quietly, as it will through the night, unaffected by thoughts of stars or gravity. Time feels almost absent now, not slowed, simply unmarked. There is no sense of waiting for anything to happen next. Nothing is expected, nothing is missing. Even curiosity has settled into silence. The universe continues expanding, but expansion here feels like permission, space allowing more space, distance increasing without separation, galaxies drifting apart without losing coherence, black holes remaining bound to their galactic homes, never roaming freely, never intruding. The nearest known ones remain far beyond sensation, their presence known only through careful observation, never through feeling. Safety is written into distance, written into scale, written into the fact that most of existence unfolds far beyond human time and human concern. The mind no longer tries to bridge that gap. It rests comfortably on its own scale, small enough to sleep, large enough to belong. Awareness thins further. Thoughts no longer arise even as fragments. Language has fallen away entirely. What remains is a quiet continuity, the same continuity that carried stars from birth to collapse, that allowed black holes to form without disturbing the wider cosmos, that allows night to arrive without ceremony. Sleep settles fully now, not as an event, but as the absence of effort. The universe does not notice. It continues exactly as before, gravity holding, time unfolding, expansion proceeding, black holes remaining where they are, distant, contained, irrelevant to rest. And within this vast, steady order, you remain supported, unmoving, untroubled, resting inside something large enough to include every mystery without ever needing to resolve it. Drifting, quiet, always held, always continuing. The quiet now is so complete that it feels permanent, as if this state has always existed beneath activity, waiting patiently for attention to soften enough to notice it. Black holes, galaxies, stars, expansion, all of it continues somewhere beyond awareness, without requiring acknowledgement. The universe does not depend on observation to remain stable. It has been unfolding for billions of years before any questions were ever asked, and it will continue long after questions fall away again. Gravity remains consistent, not pulling, not pushing, simply holding relationships in place. Mass curves space, space guides motion, time flows according to where you are, and here, time is gentle. Seconds do not announce themselves. Minutes do not gather. There is only a smooth continuation that does not need to be measured. Black holes remain exactly where they are, distant, contained, their event horizons marking boundaries that keep uncertainty from spreading outward. Beyond those boundaries, the universe remains predictable enough to allow stars to burn steadily, planets to orbit calmly, nights to arrive without disturbance. The idea that something could suddenly intrude dissolves completely. The cosmos does not behave that way. Its most extreme phenomena are localized, buffered by distance, softened by scale. This buffering is everywhere. It is what allows rest, what allows sleep. The body recognizes this deeply. Muscles no longer hold any readiness. Breathing has slowed into a pattern so subtle it barely registers. Pauses between breaths stretch naturally, without effort. The nervous system has shifted fully into its quiet state. Repair, balance, restoration, all continuing without instruction. Thoughts no longer form. Even fragments have faded. Awareness feels wide and thin, like a clear night sky without landmarks. Not empty, simply open. The same openness that fills the space between galaxies. Space that is not nothing, but possibility. Expansion continues everywhere, but it is not felt as movement. It is felt as room. More room for things to exist without interference. Black holes participate in this openness by containing what they contain, by not spreading their mystery outward, by remaining precise in their influence. They are not failures of physics. They are confirmations that the universe can include even its most intense outcomes without destabilizing the whole. This realization does not need to be held consciously. It settles beneath awareness, becoming part of the background sense of safety. Night continues. The Earth turns. The sun remains distant. The galaxy rotates slowly, imperceptibly. The supermassive black hole at its center remains quiet, its influence limited, its presence steady. Far beyond that, other galaxies do the same, each with their own centers, their own rhythms, their own long patience, none rushing, none colliding violently, all moving according to relationships set long ago. Time no longer feels like something you are inside of. It feels like something you are resting upon, broad, supportive, without edges. Sleep deepens further, not as a descent, but as a spreading calm. Awareness thinning until it is almost indistinguishable from rest itself. There is no point at which you fall asleep. You simply stop needing to remain awake. The universe does not notice this change. It continues exactly as it always has. Gravity holding, space expanding, black holes remaining where they formed, distant, silent, unthreatening, stars continuing their slow work of light and heat, and within this vast, reliable continuation, you remain supported, nothing approaching, nothing required, only the steady presence of what has always been there, the dark, the quiet, the space between things, holding everything gently as you rest, drifting, remaining, always carried, always continuing. The quiet remains, steady, unchanged, space holding everything without effort, breath continuing somewhere in the background, slow, reliable, gravity doing its quiet work, nothing moving too quickly, nothing asking for attention, black holes distant, contained, stars continuing their long, patient burning, time stretching gently, without edges, awareness resting, drifting, not going anywhere, simply remaining, carried by the same calm that has always been here, before thought, before motion, before sleep, and the quiet continues, steady, unchanged, space holding everything without effort, breath continuing somewhere in the background, slow, reliable.